So, due to the runaway success that was the mince pie review videos, at least one person has asked me, it must be at least one person, if not 1.1 people, have asked me, can you do a Christmas pudding review? So that's what we're going to do today. So welcome back to the Dadskillz how-to and review channel. Now, at great personal risk and for your viewing pleasure, I've been shopping. And that's something that I won't be doing again for a long time. Thank God for online shopping. But I've bought 13 separate individual Christmas puddings, all the size of one serving. And we're going to rate those on a points-based system of 100 points. And they will get points for cost, presentation, and most of all, taste. So on the back of each Christmas pudding, it recommends that you steam them for about half an hour. So for that reason, I've microwaved them. Okay, so I've got my scoring sheet ready. The first one we're going to try is the Aldi, labelled as Holly Lane, and we're going to start with the cheapest and work our way up to the most expensive. This is 89 pence. Now I've microwaved up the first six, and they're all pretty generic after they've been microwaved. They all look much the same. So looks-wise, there's not a lot between them really. So this is Aldi, 89p, Holly Lane. I'll just be having one spoonful of each. Look at that. Nice. Nice texture. Nice enough. It's quite pulpy, so there's no recognition of any individual constituents in there. I can't crunch on a bit of a nut or anything, or I can see a few raisins in there. It's all right, it's fine for 89p. That's a bit of a bargain. Not particularly boozy. Points wise, I would be more than happy to be presented with that on Christmas Day. I'm going to give it 70, and we'll see where everything fits in around that. Just clean my spoon. Next one up, just a bit cheaper than a few of the others. It's Lidl, and this is 99 pence. Texture wise, this is quite a hard thing to stab your spoon into. Okay, so this is already a lot different to the cheap Aldi. There's a few bits in there that are a bit bigger, so the texture is less pulpy, if you like, than the Aldi. No, I don't particularly like that. The aftertaste is quite tasteless. There's no booze in it, and if we're going on Aldi being 70 points out of 100, I think I'm putting this down 45. Next up, Morrisons. There are a few around this price point again. This is £1. Looks all right. Now I'm excited for the expensive Morrisons one. We should have to wait before we get to that one. So, texture looks nice. Smells as you would expect. It's all right. The texture is quite nice. There's a few bigger bits in there to get your teeth into. Not particularly boozy. The aftertaste is quite nice. I'm going to give that 60. Okay, next up, Tesco. Again, £1. And the texture is pretty much what we've seen with the rest of them. Now, Tesco was the winner of the basic mince pie review. So let's see if they got the Christmas pudding correct. So when I've spooned into it, it looks a bit cakey. A bit Christmas cakey. Dry. Now, I'm not saying I've cooked it in via the best method, but comparing these all together, it's dry, it's chewy, it's not very boozy. Aftertaste is average. It beats the Lidl, so I'm going to go 55 points on that. Okay, next up is the posh Aldi. This is £1.25. So, and that is actually discernibly different texture-wise, a bit more chunky to what we've seen so far. Smells nice. There's a bit of booze in that. 12-month matured brandy, cognac and almonds. Texture-wise, it's what you'd expect. It looks like a Christmas pudding. It doesn't look like a Christmas cake. Okay, so there is clearly a bit of booze in there. And the whole raisins, and there's some nice chunky bits there. And who doesn't like chunky bits? But the raisins seem to have held the moisture and a bit of the boozy flavour, so bear with me. No sixpence yet though. 67 points, 0.26. Tricky one. It's got quite a nice aftertaste actually, that one. I can still taste it now. It's still repeating. Yeah, nice. Okay, forgive me, but slightly out of order, I missed this one. This is the Sainsbury's Basic This is actually £1, so I've actually leaped ahead of myself with the posh Aldi, but we're going to go back a step. Sainsbury's, £1. Texture looks nice. Presentation looks nice. Texture inside is dry. So this will be interesting. Clearly, bits in there to get your teeth into. Raisins on top. Smells okay. This is going to be a massive loser, this one. It's dry. Aftertaste is bland. It's not even a great taste. That's getting 40 points. Right, I've just been and microwaved the next 7. We're getting more expensive now. Getting a bit posher. So let's take a look. Talking of posh, let's go to Waitrose. This one is £1.50. Texture-wise, looks all right. There's a few bits and pieces in there to get our teeth into. Smell-wise, it's average. It's relatively benign, really. So putting the spoon in, it's certainly moist. And there are a few bits and pieces in there. Yeah. We've at last got to one that stands up to the first Aldi. It's the sort of Christmas pudding that would sing with the correct additions, the brandy butter and all that. Perfectly moist. Yeah, it's actually really nice. It's not massively boozy, but the aftertaste is nice. It looks like a Christmas pudding, not like a Christmas cake. Now to mark this, I'm going to have to go back to original Aldi to see where it fits. Yeah, okay. It beats the Aldi. So that's going to get 75 points. 2 poshos together. Let's go M&S. So this was the only M&S pudding that I got. Looks all right on the top. Some nice big bits in there. Texture-wise, it's got something to bite into. There's a nice big nut at the top there. More expensive luxury ranges. They were all over the place, really. They were gluten-free and this and that. So I just went with this. Putting the spoon in, I shall taste. Okay. So that is a markedly different taste from everything else that we've tried so far. Everything else has been very similar and on a range of points. But this is totally different. Aftertaste is all right. It's a bit claggy, to be honest. It's a tricky one. I don't particularly like it. It's not something that, well, you'd be happy with it if your friends stuck it under your nose and said, get this down, you big boy. But, nah, 57.86. The next one, I'm really excited for. This is the Morrisons, right? This is £2, and this has been matured for 18 months. Just to put that in context, that's the minimum amount of time it would take you, or an elephant, to gestate a small elephant. That's crazy. We've had about three prime ministers in the time this was being laid down. So, texture on top. Looks the same as everything else. Looks like there's a few nice bits in there. Does seem very well blended. Can't see any big bits apart from raisins, so smells nice. Best smell we've had so far. 18 months. Matured. What's it done for it? Well, oh wow. So the longer you eat it for, the longer you put it around your mouth, the more alcohol you get. It leaves a nice warm sensation on your tongue. It's nice. But before I score it, let's go back to the Waitrose. Do you know what I like about the Waitrose is, so that's really subtle, and that is designed to be accompanied with something else. Whereas the Morrisons, the posh one, it's all bells and whistles, and it's trying to be everything where it doesn't need to be. It's trying to be lead singer, guitar player, drummer, bass player, all at the same time, where it doesn't need to be. So that's not going to beat the Waitrose. It's lovely, but it's not going to beat the Waitrose. 72.98. Okay, so I've actually missed one out yet again. So this is Asda, £1.50. Now, on my shopping trip to Asda, I couldn't find a sort of Bogo standard one. There were all sorts of different ranges. So whether it was just me doing a man look or what, but this is the only Asda I've got. So I can see some raisins on top. Digging in, it seems like it's been pulverised with an inch of its life. Oh no, there is a nut, a whole nut there, so that's all right. Smells nice. Smells really nice. Boozy. Moist enough. And they've done that thing of trying to trick you, the smell affecting the taste. You know what I mean? You know, you can get that bottle where you put a scent in the top and drink the water and it tastes like orange or whatever. I think that's what they've tried, but they haven't done it. Nowhere near the top. The taste isn't just there. Posh Asda, 65. Tesco Posh. Now you can see a few bits and pieces in there. Look at those, look. Look at those bad boys. So, texture, there's a lot going on. Putting my spoon in, very moist. Okay, they haven't gone for subtlety. It's all right, but the texture isn't great. It's a bit too claggy maybe, and the bells and whistles they've gone for with the boozy taste is a bit overpowering in the end. So they've tried to do it all in one hit there rather than using accompaniments to bring it up a level. We're going to go 65 again. Next up is Waitrose, the posh one. This is £2. As you can see, there's a few bits and pieces in there to get stuck into, so we'll have a bit of this. They've pushed it on the alcohol, and so it's not that subtle anymore, and it doesn't beat their cheaper one, to be totally honest, for me anyway. So let's look at what the other one scored. The top one scored 75. This is a 70. Sainsbury's, £2.50, the most expensive one on the list. Let's give it a go. Smells subtle but boozy. Nice. And then the texture looks all right. It looks quite moist on the inside. It is subtle. I'm going to have a bit more and swill it around the old palette a minute, because my palette has had 12 other Christmas puds on it. It's nice, but it doesn't beat the Waitrose. So it's going to get 71.76. So the results are in. Now the lowest was Sainsbury's, the cheaper Sainsbury's, the one that was £1, got 40 points. Quite a disappointment. And then we had the Lidl on 45 points. Probably the bargain of the day would be the cheap Aldi at 89p. That got 70 points. That was quite impressive. So for me to pick a winner, there's no doubt, it was the cheaper of the Waitrose items. This is the basic one, if you like, £1.50. Subtlety, moisture, texture. Yeah, the clear winner, deserving winner. Well, that's it from Dadskillz today. 13 Christmas puds tried, reviewed and marked. If you've liked what you've seen so far and you've made it this far, thank you very much. Do consider dropping me a like, that would be fabulous. And we also have channel membership as well. So if you'd like to support me in that way, that would be fantastic too, although you don't have to. I'm off to get myself a well-earned cup of tea now, and I don't think I'll be able to drive for a while with all that pudding-soaked booze that I've drunk. Until the next time, I will see you again. Goodbye.